So welcome to Kudurru Stone. This is part 2 of our video introduction. So clicking on scheduling and weekly tasks, you can then see the tasks that are assigned to each user and then also the date at which it is assigned. These can be drug around very easily from one date to the next and reordered in order of priority if fieldwork should be done before the research or research done before fieldwork. We also have office and field. Field is blue, office is orange. You can drag over new items simply by dragging and dropping over from here. Or if this list becomes too unmanageable and long, you can simply click on the Add New button and you can very easily add in the project, the task, whether it's field or office work, the date at which it needs to be completed, and then what employees need to be assigned to that. And multiple employees can be assigned to one task. So there you can very easily see where things need to be scheduled. So an employee can come in the morning and find out, okay, this is what I need to do in the morning. On monthly scheduling, this gives you a broad overview of the entire projects, all projects. It maps the projects, the project tasks, the employee time, and then scheduled items. So that means if I come over here and I see 17001, that means that this project is due on the 29th. When I hover over it, I can see every other scheduled item, employee time, and tasks that are associated with that particular project. So in this case, I can see that there was a scheduled item drafting on this one for September 6th, and drafting was also employee time on September 6th, which would make sense because if it was scheduled, then this person should also have time assigned. You can see that somebody assigned time on the 5th as well, and then the field work is due on the 13th and the drafting was due on the 14th. So you can see by hovering over it, everything highlights that's associated with this project. Same thing with 1700, project number 1700. You can see the tasks right here is one task associated with that project. You can also see the schedule, which is September 8th. It was scheduled for September 8th. It was also scheduled for September 4th. September 5th, research and fieldwork was scheduled. And we have an employee time entry on September 4th. So this calendar is meant to give you a very broad overview of when things are happening and when they are due. You can also filter this down by manager and assigned user if we had more assigned users in the application. Digiboards, like mentioned earlier, this is basically a digital dry erase board. You can very quickly move things around as you need to. Same thing as shown on the project task. You can see when employee time and it's been assigned to different users. If there are task notes, you can open it up and look at the notes and whatnot. The project board is nothing more than the task board, except that this is showing projects. It is showing you when a project is due, who the manager is, due date, manager, when there's time, when there's notes, and then you can also go and jump out directly to the project edit screen, editing all of the project information as you had seen earlier. We can also change this. If you had multiple managers, we could filter it down so that we only see one manager's worth of projects, and these can also be drug around as needed, showing you what status each project is in. We also have a custom board, and this is meant to allow you to create your own boards to do whatever you want. You can make any type of list you want. By adding a new list, you can type in any list in here, click add, the new list would come up there. So for instance, if we type in example list 2 and click add, we now have an example list. So these lists are completely configurable. I can also move these cards from one to the next, or if I need to add in a new card, I can do that as well. You can then open up the card details, typing in more of a description. You have a title up here. You can type in a description. If there's a due date, maybe you just need to take out the trash, and you're just going to type a card in here that says take out the trash, and the due date is whenever trash day is. You can associate these cards with projects if you want, but that is completely optional. And then also you can have notes for each card. So this is completely customizable. You can add in additional boards. You can have an unlimited number of boards. This is just like a dry erase board, except that it's on your computer. Mapping clients and projects. If we go to projects mapping, it should map the projects. We have 2 projects mapped here in Colorado because we have 2 projects in the system, and Latin longs for those, so therefore they get mapped right here. They were probably the same project type, which is why they're both marked as blue. If we change the project type, their color would update accordingly. For bookkeeping, if we had invoices, you could search your invoices, find an invoice, or you could create a new invoice for a particular project. You can also do payments by entering in, by clicking on a new payment. You can select the client, what date it is received, if there's a reference, and then the payment amount, and then you apply that to different invoices for the particular client that you have selected. That concludes our brief overview of Kudurru Stone. I hope you will contact with any questions.